Hello, online world. This is Off the Record with Migs Bustos. And for today's episode, we get thoughts and comments on episodes 3 and 4 of The Last Dance. We have a point guard from the San Miguel Beermen, Alex Cabagnot. And here's Alex with his thoughts on The Last Dance. I just want to get your thoughts on the latest episodes of The Last Dance. So, episode 3 was about Dennis Rodman and the Bad Boys. What are your thoughts on Rodman's play? Also on how the Bulls, Jordan rules, how they stopped the Bulls. So can you give us your thoughts on
My thought were, wow, they smoked and drank a lot.
that? Yeah. Rodman had a vacation, right? He went to Vegas.
Oh, man, you know what? The craziest thing is I was like, is DUI back in 1997, 1998 only in Los Angeles? Because he was drinking a Miller Lite before he got on that bike.
Yep.
So I was just, I wasn't really paying attention with the whole Jordan rules and stuff like that. It's like something I've already known. I was just looking at the smaller things like, like MJ drinking and smoking a cigar before practice. I wonder how Coach Leia would see me if I started doing that. And I'd be like, yo, Coach, didn't you watch The Last Dance? This is what Michael does. If you want to win a ring. And he's like, Coach Leo's like, man, I got 8 rings. I'm just kidding.
And you see the cigar and the whiskey beside Jordan, right? Every time he gets
Let alone that. I was watching it with my mom, actually. I was watching it with my mom, and my mom
is Jordan a favorite of yours? I mean,
Jordan is he's been a favorite of mine. I mean, forever. But just seeing how he would smoke and drink after games, it just, actually, I've probably seen this before. I've seen a lot of Jordan film of all this stuff, but, just seeing it now. And I think he was 38. He was 38, 37 when he was going for his 6th championship.
Yeah.
And I'm about that same age. So I was thinking to myself, maybe I should bring like a 24 pack after one of the games and just crack it open and then just look at what the bosses and coach would do. They'd probably go crazy and find me.
Supply that you can get.
Exactly. I'd just be like, this is what Michael Jordan does. And then start drinking. No. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. He's a monster. That's why he's the GOAT, right? He does all those things and still gives you 54.
Mm-hmm. I saw one of the comments for Dennis Rodman's angle when he went to Vegas for a vacation. He was the one who invented load management, because right. But then speaking of Dennis Rodman, a very eccentric, a very out of the box. Is there any type of player that you have encountered, you've played with, not necessarily in the PBA, but you had to deal with these kinds of personalities? Is there somebody that comes to mind, like a Dennis Rodman?
No, there's nobody like Dennis Rodman. And he's just a beast. He's just a beast. Somebody that goes out all the time. There's nobody that I think they'll be too afraid of the bosses to go out all the time.
Yeah.
Go out all the time and you don't perform. You might be waived or something. They don't play that.
In the PBA, Alex, is there like a team like a Detroit Pistons, physical, they'll just wear you down?
Oh, man. Let me think. Let me go team by team. No. There's no team that – I mean, I want to say whenever I play against Magnolia, or the teams that press, teams that have ample guards like the Barocas, the Halalons, the Paulis, the Meltons, all those scrappy guards that just get on you and be feisty, and they're pretty rough on Junmar too. They got some bigs, Sangalang, they got Pascual, they got Revis and Brundial, all those guys that could bang up Junmar in a 7-game series. Maybe them, because they're physical. They love to play D, and their calling is defense. And so I would probably say Magnolia in a way in a 7-game series. Pero hindi mo naman ma-feel yun kung hindi mo sila malalaro sa playoff. I mean, there's 3 conferences. We play each team 3 times.
Mhm.
So you never feel it. Like I would play against Blackwater 3 times in 1 year. So I would never know if they're like that. So maybe they could be. They could be. Colombian Jeep could be like that, but I never played them in a series. But I want to just say maybe Magnolia because I've played them in a series a couple times now.
Alex, among the 4 episodes of The Last Dance, is there any particular favorite which comes to mind? Any favorite moment in those 4 episodes?
Every single episode I enjoyed, except when they kept going back to like, how they would like chronologically go back and forth.
Yeah. Mm.
When they went back to like Michael Jordan in his like younger days, I kind of was like, oh man, I know this already. Like, yo, I want more I want more Pippen. I want more Hamburg, Arkansas Pippen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want more like maybe college film of Pippen. I mean, we've seen all of Michael Jordan stuff, right? Come Fly With Me, Rare Air, all those things always touch upon MJ and his. Obviously I want to see it again, but maybe the Dennis Rodman in San Antonio. He was a beast in San Antonio. That's when the Demolition Man, Dennis Rodman, came out. Maybe they touch upon that. Maybe more on. Parang when I saw it, and especially when my mom saw it, she was like, "Oh, I want more Rodman." And then they'd go back to MJ, and we'd be like, si MJ na naman.
Yeah.
MJ na naman.
Yeah, growing up in the States, especially in that era, what was the Bulls fandom like, especially for our younger viewers who's just getting to know Jordan now? But what was
Oh
he
my
really
gosh.
as an influence to you growing up?
Oh my gosh. I got like older brothers and stuff, so they were watching MJ when he was like dunking MJ. This was like the first 3 years championship MJ. I remember we migrated and MJ was just crazy. Like I'll give it to you in a standpoint. When I first migrated to the Philippines, the biggest basketball player that everybody was just crazy over was Mark Aguirre.
Yeah.
The spark. When I came in 2005, 2006, the Bandana Boys just came out. They were crazy. So when I first migrated, just to, chronologically go back, when I first migrated to the States, it was like Magic Johnson with the older people. But like the younger generation, like my brothers and my cousins and myself, just remembering it was MJ. MJ tongue out, dunking on you, MJ, And sometimes people see the MJ of, maybe people see the MJ of Washington Wizard. That's not MJ no more. That's MJ, but that's not Come Fly With Me MJ.
I get.
You know?
Mhm.
Like the comparisons, and some people saw the fadeaway MJ. Like I was talking to a friend and she was telling me like, yo, I didn't know Michael was dunking on people like that. Yes, he was dunking on people like that. He averaged 37 in 1 year.
Yeah.
He got MVP way before, you know what I'm saying? He was MVP, dunk everything.
Mhm.
And, all that. So it was crazy. It was a crazy fanatic. I was a fanatic of MJ. Like I was a fanatic of Allen Iverson. Those were the 2 guys I was very fanatic of. I couldn't copy neither anyway. I was just daydreaming of what I could do, pretending to even try what they were doing. But their popularity was crazy. Just to give an example, like when I got here, dude, everywhere I would go, Mark Aguirre with this, Mark Aguirre with that. It was just like, shit, damn, Mark is huge. Especially knowing Mark, my brother and Mark were the same batch in high school.
Mhm.
So I knew Mark, but when I got here, I knew Mark from back home. When I got here, oh man, Mark was huge. Mark was huge. Like Bandana Brothers, blonde hair, all that stuff, headband, anything he would wear would be big.
Yeah. But then, Alex, well, maybe amongst MJ's teammates all throughout the years, was there any favorite that comes to mind? Well, of course, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman.
But
But why do you think so?
no, I like Tony. I like Tony Kukoc.
Oh,
Tony Kukoc is more like somebody because
lefty
when
like.
you're when I, exactly. I always joke around with Chris Ross is, all these lefties I want to be compared to Tony, Jalen Rose, Lamar Odom. Those are the guys that I was pretending to be because they were left-handed. It's impossible to copy everybody else. I'm sure it's impossible to copy Tony Kukoc also. But since he was left-handed, it was more in my hemisphere. So I like Tony Kukoc. I like his swag. I like his just his feel for the game. And that was something I also, another person I like probably was, no, that's it. Tony Kukoc, Scotty, Rodman, Tony.
Yeah. Now, lastly, episode 4 tackled briefly on Phil Jackson's career and how they transitioned to the triangle with Tex Winter and eventually winning that first championship. Personally, I mean, that kinds of gives a resemblance between you guys. 5-time Philippine Cup champions, winning left and right. But Coach Leo and Coach Phil Jackson, is there any kind of resemblance between with your knowledge on how they both coach?
Well, I was never under Phil Jackson, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. All I know is his whole triangle thing. But with Coach Leo, I think he just won his 4th straight Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations! I have to send him a congratulations. I just saw that right now when I was opening up this laptop because I've been totally out of social media lately. So I just saw that when I opened up my laptop. I got to congratulate him for that. But I mean, they just manage. I guess the best way I could put it was Michael Jordan had a great talented guys around him, and obviously it's hard to manage. Those are hard to manage. And with Coach Leo, you have Jumar Fajardo, you have Arwin Santos, you have Marcio, you have Chris. Then you added Terrence. You added guys like we had Ronald Tubid. These are tough guys to manage. Collectively. I mean, going in and out. I mean, I don't want to say tough, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he had a quite difficult time to manage all those players, but he did it. And once he got to manage all those players, all those great players, just like Phil Jackson, maybe this is the only comparison I have because I've never been under a coach. Just Coach Leo's, the way he manages his players, maybe that's a comparison. And the best comparison, they both won championships. So I don't know. I really can't. I mean, I've read Phil Jackson's book, and I just enjoyed how Coach Phil Jackson has Tex Winter, and he actually submerged himself, immersion of the triangle. And for somebody because he coached in Puerto Rico, diba? Yeah. I'm pretty sure he had his own methods. He had his own style. He had his own swag. And then when he saw Tex Winter, he just, for him to just say, forget about what I've learned before. Let's just do this whole holistic mixed with this triangle, and maybe things could work. And it worked out. I mean, that kudos to him. And I feel like if I had to compare Coach Leo to that, I feel like, Coach Leo probably had his own set of ways before, because he was a coach. He was a winning coach in the PBL before, right? So, and then when he got to this team, maybe he could have put all his ways in there, pero I'm pretty sure in the course of time, in the course of championships, in the course of us just growing together as a unit, I'm pretty sure he changed his ways too, and that's quite difficult in itself. And once he changed his ways, I'm pretty sure everybody changed their ways too, to see how, and just to see that there's only one thing that we could look forward to is the championship. So I mean, as him being our leader, and for us to see that and to adapt through time, I guess that's something to be accounted for. And that's why he's the four-time Coach of the Year in a row. There you go.
So Alex, so give you this chance to give a shout out to your fans, San Miguel fans, and your message to them.
Just to all the first of all the San Miguel fans, thank you for all the support, all the love, just to myself and to the team as well. But I mean, to all the PBA fans, maraming thank you to you guys just for all the support, and especially to you, Migs. Thank you for doing stuff like this. And I know it's quite difficult for everybody right now. I know it's something, but you're doing your part, and you're bridging the gap between the viewers and and us athletes and everybody else that you're interviewing. So maraming salamat to you also for having me here. Thank you so much.
All right, so there you have it. This is Off the Record with Migs Bustos with my guest Alex Cabagnot, and see you guys in the next episode.